Why Not? A queer podcast.
Thank you to our sponsor, Pineapple Healthcare, an award-winning primary care clinic right here in Orlando.
Pineapple Healthcare offers mental health counseling, HIV, STI testing and treatment, and specializes in care for the LGBTQ plus community.
Open Monday through Saturday. Call today at 407-553-6336 and schedule your appointment.
Pineapple Healthcare. Better together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Todd.
And I'm Jeremy Williams, and you're listening to Wine.
Why Not? A queer podcast.
Episode 184.
Right, I think they should play that every time they announce, thank you to our A-listers. And then they play that and we all stand up and wave.
Oh, at AMC? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see more and more of that. The people standing and waving or acknowledging that they're members of the A-list. And I'm like, okay, we see you. Nicole sees you. Sit down now.
I don't like audience participation, so I don't. But when they start to say it, and I look over at you out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it?
When we first started doing A-list, you would do the little, you kind of look up and then you do the little nod as a gentle acknowledgement. But yes, you're not a public participation person, so you don't get. I've seen people stand up, salute the screen. AMC A-listers are to theaters what Apple people are to phones. It's like they think they're like the exclusive best, and it's like, you're fine, you're just like all the others, but they're like, no, yeah, we're AMC and we've got iPhones.
At least when it comes to like an iPhone, that's like $1,200, $1,400. I mean, AMC A-list is $20 a month. Calm down, people.
30. That's not cheap. The experience. It's 30.
Also, and the reason I don't like audience participation, one of them, it's just like no one paid to go see me. They're there to see Nicole Kidman. They're there to like here. Let's all go to the lobby. They don't need to see me. So
Good God, let's all go to the lobby. What are you watching, a movie in the 70s? Nobody's gone to the lobby since COVID.
It was my favorite song from the Honeysuckle Rose movie. That's a blast from the past.
Yeah. So yeah, here we are, 184. You want to talk about some 184 facts?
I would love to, Jeremy.
I found a couple on. Sure, I found a couple on the train ride here.
Let's be different. You start.
Okay. So were you a fan of the TV show MASH when it was on?
I don't know that I was. I don't know. What years was it on?
I knew you would ask, so I have the information pulled up here, but I don't remember which tab it is.
I may have.
There it is. Oh geez. Oh gosh. I don't know. It ran for like 11 seasons. Oh, there it is. 79 to.
Okay, nope. So my parents watched it, and I probably watched it with them. And I probably thought, the guy in the dress was fun.
Yeah, that was, yeah. 11 seasons, 256 episodes, ran from September 17th, 1972 to February 28th, 1983. Has the most watched finale of any narrative television series. Now, I bring it up because episode 184 of the series is considered one of its high points. And the concept, it's directed by Alan Alda, who stars in MASH, obviously.
He's great.
Love him. He's the David Schwimmer of MASH. Although I guess David Schwimmer would be the Alan Alda of Friends. Where like a season or two into it, he just started directing a bunch of episodes.
Oh, I thought you meant like he was the weird character. I was like, really? I thought he was like...
that too, I guess. No, but he started... That's how he got his the directing bug. He started directing episodes of the show. So episode 184 is an episode called Lifetime, and it is told in real time. So the entire episode is told in real time in the 20 minutes, and the premise of the episode is there's a ticking clock in the corner of the episode, and it's 20 critical minutes while surgeons perform a high-stake aortic transplant to prevent a soldier from experiencing permanent paralysis.
Oh,
Not interesting.
Sounds
That's episode
hilarious.
184.
I'm just kidding. It's a comedy, right? No, it's a dramedy.
Yeah, MASH famously, and that's why it's kind of a lot of people say that
Was
hit
it the
that
bear
sweet
of its
spot.
time?
A little bit, where it started as a straight up comedy and went into like some really dramatic episodes throughout its run. But staying with the sitcoms, were you a fan of My Three Sons?
I didn't know.
Or do you know what My Three Sons is?
I do believe it was a television program.
It was a sitcom back from 1960 to 1972. It too ran for 12 seasons. Or no, one season, the 11 seasons of MASH. 12 seasons. The reason I bring it up now, it ran for a total of 380 episodes. And it happened to be running during that sweet spot of when America went from black and white TV to color TV. And the show of its 380 episodes, 184 of them are black and white, and 196 are in color.
Huh.
Yeah.
I guess we'll be talking about that again at episode 196.
We sure will. Are you a basketball fan?
I do enjoy the basketball.
Well, fantastic. Because did you know that the highest scoring game in NBA history involved, I just lost my spot, involved the Detroit Pistons and the Denver Nuggets on December 13th, 1983. It went into triple overtime, ending with the Pistons defeating the Nuggets 186 to 184.
Huh.
And yes, you will hear this in 2 more episodes.
There will be a quiz. Yeah, you know what? This will surprise you to say because I am a fan of baseball and I will even watch baseball on TV. But I do find that basketball is boring until like the last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes of play, which is like the last 3 hours of television.
Yeah.
You know, you ever watch a basketball game on TV?
Yeah.
The last 5 minutes is forever.
This past finale or finale, the final season. When the Knicks won. Everybody in New York, whether you like basketball or not, you watched.
I feel like it was 1986. I could be wrong on this, but I feel like it was 1986. Well, that was a long time ago. That the Houston Rockets were playing, and Ralph Sampson took an inbound ball with like 2 seconds left on the clock, and he just jumped in the air. His feet never touched the ground. They threw the ball to him, and he just tapped it from well beyond the 3-point line, and it went in for them to win the game. And I was like, and from that moment on, it was like the last 2 minutes of any basketball game I'll watch.
All right. I am also not a huge basketball fan, but I would have to disagree with you. Baseball is much more boring to watch than basketball to me.
I mean, I don't disagree that for people who aren't mega fans or who don't really like it, I just happen to really like baseball, so it's not boring to me. But I can see why it is to other people, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then, of course, my final one. Caitlin, get ready to correct my pronunciation because this is some whacked out name. But Pokemon.
It all come back to me now. Now I know why somebody. Remember last time when we said, "Oh, somebody who's listening is going to say something about it," and I thought maybe it was about the friend stuff. No, I think it was about correcting your pronunciations. And now that you say it, it comes back to me.
So Pokemon 184 is Azumarill.
Ooh.
Which
Nice.
looks like a fat Easter egg with bunny ears and a little poof tail.
A little Humpty Dumpty.
Those long ears it has are superb sensors. It can distinguish the movements of things in water and tell what they are just from his ears.
Now, why is that something you want to know? I guess if you're a
Pokemon,
fisherman.
I guess if you're fighting a water Pokemon, that's very important to know.
Wow, but if you're fighting a land one, you're screwed.
That's why you have more than one Pokemon. You wouldn't throw your Azumarill out if you were on land, Rick. Come on.
It's not called Pokemons.
Yeah. You're not going to throw what Caitlin said, but nobody heard her.
And you're like, I love it so much. You were trying to remember what she said.
I can't
and
remember
you were
at
like,
all what she
and
said.
you would have, yeah.
She said something about a fireball that you
Something
wouldn't
about-
throw it at a Pokemon.
That was good.
You can use your water type toward against a fire Pokemon is what she was saying. Rick, come on.
God, I know. Amateur.
All right. Before we get to your numbers, I do want to just throw something out real quick because on the Pokemon aspect, I was at work today and I have accumulated enough points on my McDonald's app to get a Happy Meal. And for those of you who don't eat Happy Meals on a regular basis, they come with toys. And the toys right now that McDonald's is doing is a collab between Hello Kitty and Godzilla. I don't know where the connection is, but with Caitlin nodding, she's going to confirm what we were saying earlier.
I mean, I could guess where the connection is, but
do you want that they're both from Japan?
Yeah, they originate from the same country.
Cowboy boots and hot dogs are from America. Are you going to stick a hot dog in a cowboy boot?
If it would sell more fries, yes.
Anyway, so earlier, I got a toy. I know the Godzilla character, but it was told to us by someone who lives here that Caitlin probably knows the Hello Kitty character. So holding up to the camera, that is Rodan from Godzilla, but I don't know who's wearing the Rodan costume. It looks like an Angry Bird, but that's not the collab. So I know it's not an Angry Bird.
Not a bad collab, though.
No, not a bad collab at all. Because Angry Birds are where lizards come from. Because lizards used to be birds.
I'd subscribe to
or
that
something.
OnlyFans
That's the dinosaur thing.
to watch that collab.
Mm-hmm.
She says it's Maru, which is the bird character.
Baz Luhrmann, who directed Moulin Rouge as a bird, as Rodan from Godzilla.
Here's a question also for Caitlin. I'm sure this is real fun for the audience because she's answering and we hear her and you don't. So Hello Kitty is about a girl dressed as a kitty. Yes. So, and she, oh my God, so is a Smurf. She said it's 3 apples tall. So is a Smurf. Did you know this? Smurfs are 3 apples tall. So this bird that's dressed as a dinosaur or Godzilla is that also a girl dressed as a bird, dressed as a dinosaur? All right, she doesn't know the lore.
Nobody
so
knows. Moving on.
We were told by someone in this apartment that you would know. Lies. Are you ready for mine? 184s?
As long as they are either Godzilla or Hello Kitty themed.
Hello, Kitty. Is that what Cillian Murphy's friends say to him when he shows up on set? That's John. I would say John Nolan. That's not his name. John Nolan is the character in The Rookie. Ah, thank you very much. So I was looking up facts about 184 and I couldn't find any. And then I come across this thing like 5 pages in that tells me what it said 184 is not. And it lists a bunch of things that it's not. And it cracked me up. So I wanted to tell you what it's not. Okay. 184 is not a happy number. 184 is not a humble number. 184 is not a Munchausen number. 184 is not a perfect number. 184 is not a perfect square. And 184 is not a palindrome. Now, it sounds silly, but those all mean something. Like, a happy number means something. It means, like, eventually, when you add up all the numbers, it gets to 1. Something like that. And a humble number means something, as does a Munchausen number, which I thought was very weird. Not interesting enough that I remembered all of them to tell you about it. But
I'll tell you, they don't mean anything to me.
So here are TV shows that have 184 episodes. Now, I did say, are you sure? Did you do a live stream search? And they said, yes, this is.
So let me ask you a question. When you ask AI something and they give you facts, do you go out and verify those facts? Or do you just ask AI, are you sure? And he says, yeah, I'm sure. And then you're like, okay.
I call it the Kunch method.
Okay.
It's somebody that I know.
Sure.
That every time they ask me a question and I answer it, they say, are you sure? So I've adopted the Kunch method for the Googles.
Okay. All right.
So I just say, are you sure? I mean, I used to go and look it up and then I would say like we're talking about. But now I learned their lingo, and it's like if you say, "Is this a live search?" then they'll be like, "Yeah, absolutely for facts." So here you go, facts. Newhart, 184 total episodes. Did you ever watch the Newhart show?
I did, yeah.
I did enjoy that, and I love how that ended. That'll come up later in the podcast as well. Those kind of endings. Those
now you're saying Newhart and not the Bob Newhart show, right?
Nah, Newhart.
Yeah, they're different.
This is the one where he ran the inn, right?
Yeah, up. The ski lodge.
Yeah,
in thingy.
And the Flash.
Yes, the Flash. 9 seasons on the CW.
All right, so here's like I ran out of numbers. I mean, I still have my usuals, and we'll get to those. But I wanted to because we're gonna get into the Friends thing. But I wanted to tell you, I came across this video that's really long, so I only listened to like the first 10 minutes of it, so I don't have all the interesting things. But there are some facts about Friends that I wasn't aware of that I thought I would share. That I think we all know because we're friends and we know trivia. We're fans, so we know trivia about it. But we know that it's not Friends wasn't the original name.
No,
right? That it was Insomnia Cafe was the original name. But did you know it had like 3 other names before the pilot was called Friends?
I know one was 6 of Us.
6 of 1.
6 of 1.
Yeah. So it was Insomnia Cafe, and then it was Friends Like Us. Then it was Across the Hall. Then it was 6 of 1. And then finally, for the pilot, it was Friends, and that stuck. Did you know in the original pitch that Ross and Rachel weren't the romantic interest couple, the would they, wouldn't they couple? Do you know who it was?
I've heard this. It was Joey and Monica, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Joey and Monica. And then after casting, they were like, no, the chemistry is between Ross and Rachel, so let's go with that. And so when they pitched the idea, the network said, this is 6 people in their 20s. It'll never work because it's only one demographic. And so they wanted to add more they wanted to add like another demographic age group to it. So there was a character called Pat the Cop who was older that was supposed to give Monica all of the advice. And like, this is advice from your elders. But the writers begged them not to do it, and they finally won out. So this, I think, Courtney Cox was not supposed to be Monica.
Yeah, she auditioned for Rachel, and she didn't like it, so she asked if she could read for Monica. Yeah.
She was.
I'm glad
she
supposed
did.
To
read for Rachel. And that Monica's character originally was supposed to be snarkier, and they wrote it with a very specific person in mind. Do you know who that was?
Was it Rosie O'Donnell?
No, it was Janine Garofalo.
Oh, yes.
Can you imagine that?
No. I know Rosie O'Donnell and Megan Mullany both auditioned for Phoebe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, I think Rosie O'Donnell could have pulled off Phoebe, although we wouldn't have had Lisa Kudrow, and I love Lisa Kudrow. Look at your face, token woman. You hush up over there. She's looking at me like, what? I do love Lisa Kudrow.
I think Megan Mullany would have done a better job at Phoebe than Rosie O'Donnell. I love Rosie O'Donnell, but I don't see her as a Phoebe.
Well, she could play dumb.
She could have been a lesbian.
I feel like
Monica.
she sort of played dumb in A League of Their Own.
Yeah,
so
but kind of like New York dumb, like she was like the guy from King of Queens, just a lady version.
Oh, yeah. How do you feel about Rosie O'Donnell's resurgence into the spotlight? I
love her. I think I like her. Yeah,
love it. I love it. I'm very happy.
Ever since I saw her on the Flintstones, and then I was obsessed with her talk show. I would watch it all the time. That and Xena. How nobody in my family knew I was a flamboyant gay boy. I was obsessed with Rosie O'Donnell and Xena towards the end of my high school days. And I listened to Alanis Morissette and Melissa Etheridge and Sheryl Crow. I was a full-on lesbian in the 90s. I owned a lot of flannel. I did, yeah.
You had a summer job helping people move?
Yeah, I owned a U-Haul.
So here's the last one I have on this. No, actually, I have another one.
Okay.
But that John Cryer was originally
yes, Chandler
fitted for Chandler. Do you know why he didn't get the role?
I had seen an interview with him, and I thought he said he was offered it but turned it down.
No, he was doing a project overseas, and he sent his audition tape in, and it got held up at customs. And in the time that it was held up in customs, there was somebody else that what's his name? Matthew Perry was helping audition for the role, but then he either turned it down or didn't get it. And then John Cryer's audition tape didn't show up. So Chandler auditioned, and they were like, when they or Matthew Perry did, and when they did, they were like, "Oh, this is it. It's done. It's him."
Yeah, I know that both Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry were doing readings for them, but neither one could audition for the job because they had sitcoms that were picked up, and that if they dropped them, then they could go onto the show. And both of their shows got dropped, so that's how they were able to go for Friends.
Yeah, he was doing that futuristic LAX show.
Yeah.
And then the last one I have is just that the Friends of cast changed the way that the Friends of cast, the cast of Friends, changed changed the way that that people are paid on sitcoms. It was the first one where they went in.
They were the all for one. Yeah.
Yeah, to demand that they were all paid equally. And in I think it was like season 2 or 3, they were each paid $75,000 per episode, and then by the last episode, they were each making $1 million an episode.
Yeah,
crazy, and they're banking on those reruns. So good for them.
It's really funny, particularly it's shows on the 90s of the kind of shows that so many TV execs said, no, it's not going to work. Like with Friends, they're like, nobody's going to care if it's just a bunch of people in their 20s. And when Seinfeld was trying to get on the air, executives were like, nobody wants to watch a show about 4 Jewish people in New York. It's too niche. And they both had people at the studio who fought and said, no, you need to put this on the air. It's going to be a huge hit. And if they had not listened to them, we would not have 2 of the greatest sitcoms ever made.
Yeah. Seinfeld didn't really take off till season 2, right? Like there was that one episode about the Chinese restaurant that they thought.
The first season is only 5 episodes long because they shot the pilot. Then there were issues with it. Elaine wasn't even a part of the show when it first started. It was just the 3 guys. And they said, it's good, retool it, bring it back next year. So they did 1 episode in the summer. And then the following summer, they ran like 4 episodes. And then they picked up the second season. Second season was And then third season is when it really started to pick up and become the huge juggernaut it was.
Yeah. Great show. All right. So here we go. Friends, 184th episode. I will say it's actually one of it makes me laugh this way. It's silly. It's really not tied into any long-term things. The subplots of it were that Phoebe had a hard time giving Monica massages because she enjoyed them too much.
Yeah.
She moaned a lot. And then Ross was upset that he was missing part of Rachel's pregnancy, like the baby kicking and that kind of thing.
Yeah, because she was living with Joey, and Joey was getting all the baby time.
But the title of the show,
The Cheesecake?
No, that's a good one too. That makes me laugh. It's the one with the secret closet.
Yes. That in the Lego build, because they have the apartments, in the Lego build, when you build the closet, they give you a bunch of random crap that you shove in the closet when you're finished building.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. And because it's like they talk about we know this, right? Inconsistencies all throughout.
Yeah.
All there was no one's job to write it all down. Like there's no one's job on this podcast to write down what we talk about. So there's probably no consistency.
There is someone's job, but she's very busy with 900 other jobs. But we understand. She left us.
Oh, come back. All right. So in the one with the routine, from 1999. Rachel opens the closet to look for Christmas presents, and the closet is clean.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a couple of times.
Wait, did the routine happen before or after this episode?
Well, it's 1999 was the routine, so I imagine it happened after because it's after 9/11.
Oh, okay. Routine would have been like episode. Okay, yeah, like episode
Yeah.
6. Oh, because Joey was living with Elle McPherson at the time.
Yeah, and I love the routine.
I do too.
So there's that, but then there were other times I think, like in the first season, episode 12, the closet door is open and it's clean. So maybe she just got lazy in the later years. Maybe.
Do you know, to celebrate a specific anniversary of the routine episode, that Courtney Cox recreated the routine on her her Instagram with Ed Sheeran. Yeah, you can go look at it.
He's just so versatile, isn't he? That
He
Ed
is.
Sheeran.
He
Is
sings.
there anything he can't do?
He was in Game of Thrones for
No,
5
yeah.
seconds. He was in the Friends routine.
Look, I don't know what this means. I just know that if there was a show that Ed Sheeran should be cast in, it was Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like that was perfect casting. Also, speaking of inconsistencies, in the one where Rosita dies, Phoebe makes some sort of comment that she only had two clients all year and they were terrible tippers. And Monica's like, "Hey, that was me and Ross." And so she acted then like she didn't know what Monica was like when she gave her massages, but she clearly had done that before. But this is interesting. Maybe. Joey's dream, there's this dream sequence where Joey is like playing with the baby and he looks down and it's Ross's face. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
It's the only surreal imagery used in the entire series. Like every other time that they do a cutaway or a flashback or a dream or anything, it's always super realistic. That's the only one where it was where it used that kind of imagery. Anyway, 184th greatest film ever made. I will be highly impressed if you get it. Oh. It's a 1941 William Wyler film. Stars Bette Davis and Herbert Marshall.
No, Bette Davis, only one I know, All About Eve. I know she's done a bunch of other ones. Gaslight? Was she in Gaslight? I don't think she was in Gaslight.
I don't know. Little Foxes.
Little Foxes. Oh.
Do you know that I had the hardest time grasping what gaslight meant? And it's because when I was a kid and I first heard the word gaslight used in a sentence, there was the Gaslight apartment complex that was near us. So it just, none of it made sense to me. I was not a very smart kid. That's not true. I was smart, but not really. I told you, right? It took me until I was like 15 to know my right from my left. And I still have a struggle with it sometimes. I'll like pretend to throw a baseball to see what it is. Do you know what solved it for me?
I don't know. Pills?
No, working at Watermark, and knowing that a right hand read and a left hand read is
when did you start it? How old were you when you started at Watermark?
The 184th greatest director of all time.
William Wyler.
When I was 16, I started working at Watermark when I was 16.
Nice. I know that you think you're saving yourself there, but that don't make it any better. No, it's good. I have a hard time with that too. Do you know how I learned? If you make an L with your fingers,
Uggs?
like a loser, this is your left hand with the L.
Yeah.
I learned that when I was 5.
You know, I do that with drink. I do that with drinks and bread, right? When you're sitting at a table and you're at some sort of gala and you want to know which bread is yours or what. If you go like this and if it makes a B, it's your bread. And if it makes a D, then that's your drink.
Listen, I was raised in
But then I'll look at this and I'll be like, which one is a B and which one's a D?
I was raised in a large Italian family. My bread, which was whatever was on the table. And I just grabbed
your bread was what I could reach. Right?
Yeah. I grabbed it and I ate it. And that's how you got this.
See, you grew up like Monica Geller. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese filmmaker. 184th. You know what? I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I'm going to say you're not going to get this, but you might. Caitlin might. It's very. It's all anime, right? I believe.
Oh,
Tokyo Godfathers, Perfect Blue, Paprika, Paranoia Agent.
I don't know any of those.
Satoshi Kon.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Caitlin, shake your head. Yes. Like, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally didn't know that.
Are you sure, Token Woman? Are you live searching that? Anyway, that's my 184s.
Nice. Oh, there we go. She's getting a little drum happy over there.
I just want to say, for the people who just happen to pick up listening, like whatever weird video you clicked on to throw us in your algorithm and you just happen to be listening. I don't refer to Caitlin as Token Woman, except she named herself that.
That's her name on her screen
in front of me. So that's why I say it. It's not a thing that I do. If I was going to call anyone woman, it would be my mother.
Yeah. It reminds me of South Park because the principal, who's PC principal, his assistant principal is Strong Woman. And every time I see Token Woman, I think of Strong Woman. And then there's a song on a particular episode that is not very kind to a particular group of people, where they're like, Strong Woman. And then there's like this montage. It's not a great episode. Anyway, every time I see Token Woman, I think Strong Woman. Caitlin, I think Strong Woman for you.
Speaking of strong women, how was your week?
Okay, my week was eventful, but I am learning that I don't retain knowledge anymore. So something that happened this week is something that I put on here. So I wrote down here, because I have my little notepad here, and I have notes for this week. And then I jotted down, had to make notes because ... Crockpot, and then I wrote one of my coworkers' name down. And I don't like to say my coworkers' names.
I was going to say, not being able to retain knowledge is perfect for podcasting.
I know, right? So I don't like to use my coworkers' names because they don't consent to being on this podcast. So I don't like to put their names out there. But a particular podcast or coworker of mine, we're standing around yesterday and we're talking about kitchen stuff because I'm talking, we're talking. One of the girls at work, she's like, "Ooh, I want to get an air fryer," and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I want to get a new crock pot," because when I moved, I threw a lot of my stuff out or got rid of my stuff, and I got rid of the big crock pot because it was old and it was kind of burnt on the bottom on the little coil. So I was like,
is this the one that had the different sections?
No, that's 3 small ones. That's not a big one. The 3 sections.
So you still have that? Cause I'm just asking because I bought that one for you.
Yeah, no, it's still, that one's in the storage unit. But I don't have the big one because that one was super old. So, I said, I want to get a new crock pot. I apparently told this coworker a story many, many months ago involving the crock pot. So we're standing around and he's like, "Jeremy, tell them that story about the crock pot." And I'm like, "Huh?" And he goes, "You were telling me a few months ago about the crock pot, about your roommate, and he put it in the fridge." And I'm like, "I am sorry. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about." And he's looking at me and starting to get embarrassed. He's like looking around at the people. He's like, the crock pot story. And I was like, "Listen, dude, I am really sorry. I've got a lot on my mind. I've had a lot going on. I forgot about the crock pot story. But as soon as it'll trigger, once it triggers, I will tell everybody that story." So then he went off to do his work and stuff. And the 2 girls were standing there. And I was like, I feel bad. Because to him, this crock pot story was so meaningful that he held on to it. And he's like, "Oh my God, that was a great story. You need to tell that." For me, it was a Tuesday. For me, it was like crock pot, blah, 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 and left my mind.
I want you to know this is how this went. He's at work. He's talking to these 2 people. And they're like, "I wonder who comes in later." And he's like, "Oh, shit.
It's
Jeremy comes in later. Oh my God. He's going to tell you the crockpot story. I'm going to make him tell you. Well, you're going to fucking love this. This is crazy. And then you come in. He's been building them up for hours.
I know.
And you walk in and you're like, I don't know her.
Yeah. And the worst part is after he walked away, I told the two girls, I'm like, that story meant so much to him and so little to me. Because I don't remember it.
I just really, because you told me this already, and I've been thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine a scenario where somebody putting a crock pot in a refrigerator would be funny.
I don't know the details of it. If I could remember it, maybe I'm just such a great storyteller.
If it was still plugged in, it would be funny. But
me and my details and my antics.
He should have put it in Tupperware, but instead of putting it in Tupperware, he put the whole thing in the fridge. Nah, I don't know.
I don't know. If I remembered, I'd have told the story, but I don't remember. So I'm just like, I don't know.
I wish you remembered.
I wish I did too. Remembered. According to this kid, it's a funny fucking story.
Poor guy. He's like, I'm gonna. You know what is happening? He's crying right now, listening to the podcast because he went home and he said, "Hey, girls, let's listen to the podcast." Because I bet he remembered by the time
bet he told the podcast story.
I bet he's going to tell the story
on the crockpot story. Yeah. No, I didn't. I'm sorry, dude. And I keep saying dude because I don't want to say anybody's name, legal reasons. But dude, come on. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But I did write a note down. You want to know what my first note I wrote down is? I went on a date last week.
Oh.
No? I thought we'd get the applause. Never mind. Fuck me, I guess. All right. No.
Oh, my God.
Got it. That's enough of that.
Do you feel like Jeb Bush?
Applause.
I went on a date. Please clap.
So it was a lovely time. A gentleman I met online. We went and got a coffee and walked around Central Park. It was very New York romantic comedy from the 90s. And then we went and saw a movie, saw End of Oak Street, which was a fun time. Different than I thought it would be based on the trailer, but a really nice movie. And then I went home.
So if you had Does Jeremy Kiss and Tell on your
a little bit. I
just
did.
Is yes. Yeah. The answer is yes.
For now, until I forget this story, because that kiss meant more to him than it did to me. I'm just kidding.
Do you think in order to get him to kiss you, you told him the crockpot story?
Oh, I don't know. Did I? I don't remember. It was so long ago. I bet if I did, he'd have loved that story.
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
It was, when did I go on that day? It was last Wednesday or Thursday, right?
It was Wednesday. It was after we went to
the Broadway thing. Oh, that's right. We walked around my neighborhood. I didn't write that down either. I did so much this week. I totally out the ears. I don't remember nothing. So yes, we went and walked around, you, me, and Dylan, because you and me went and looked at the apartment.
I do want to point this out.
Yes.
It was, I mean, I don't know how much of this you want to tell. Like, do you want to tell like the minutes leading up to the decision to finally go? Because it was scary. It was some scary shit. Jeremy got some upsetting news. Because the deal was we were gonna go after work or whatever, and so it was like, or when Dylan got out of work at 4 or something. Yeah,
and we were gonna.
I had a meeting from 3 to 4, and then we were gonna go after that. But right when my meeting was ending, Jeremy got some really upsetting news or an upsetting call. It was very angry.
Yeah. We can talk about it. That is on my notes.
Oh, and so then when he got off the phone and was still yelling, and Dylan had called me, and we hadn't even said hello. We were just listening to Jeremy yell, and then Dylan's like, "Okay, are we still going?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'll ask." And I'm like, "Did you still want to go?" And you were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, let's do it." And I was like, "Okay."
So we went to look at the neighborhood and the apartment. I had just gotten a call before we were going to leave that a certain individual who was showing me the apartment I don't want to say threatening because threatening sounds like a legal term and I don't want to get into legal trouble. But basically told that she was going back and forth, the broker and the caseworker working my case to get me this apartment, going back and forth. And I was told basically, I haven't heard from your caseworker. And if I don't hear from her, you're going to lose the apartment. Don't come at me with your threats. So I had enough of her because
I thought for a second there you were about to be back in the moment and reliving it, and I was like, "Oh shit,
no.
Here it comes! Get ready to pee a little."
I'm
Caitlin.
good now.
Okay.
So because 2 days later, I'm like, you know what? I'm off on Friday or Thursday, whatever the next day was. I'm gonna go down there and we're gonna hash this out. I'm gonna get it all done. And
Well, say what she said to you on the phone after she said.
Oh, yes. So
This is what's
because
the most
I was
shocking thing
like,
about it.
listen, I get it. You know, I'm working here too. And she said to me, listen, I have an apartment to go home to. I'm working for you to get you an apartment. And as I bitch said, what?
Can you believe that?
And I'm like, you're
like,
not
I need you to
working for
tell
me like
me?
free. Like it's a charity. You're getting fucking paid for this job. It's your job.
You're like, I'm the one who sits behind this couch in this rickety ass chair every night. I know my situation. I know I don't have a home. I know. Like, F you, lady.
I even told her, I was
seriously.
like, you don't have to remind me. I know that I don't have a home. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I went to the housing office and I was like, I get there and I'm on my wit's end. And I get in there and I go to the front desk. And as bad as you think a government office is, multiply it by 10. So I get in there and they're just very snappy. And they're very like, do this, go here, fill this out. And I'm like, listen, we're not people who just won the lottery. We're not happy. None of us in this fucking room are happy. We're people who hit a rough spot. We're down on our luck. We're grasping to this fucking thing called life. And y'all are being fucking bitches. Calm the fuck down. As I will now.
We were getting back there. By the way, on a scale of like what it was like that day to what this was like, this is like a 2.
Oh yeah, I was pissed. I was like, don't come at me like that. So anyway, so I go to the office and I'm talking to this lady and she's like, gives me this stack of paperwork to fill out. I was like, ma'am, I've already filled out all the paperwork. And she goes, no, you're a new client. I said, the fuck I am. I said, I'm here to get the final paperwork done to get my apartment. I'm not new at anything. And so she goes, hold on. And she calls somebody and then she comes over and she goes, go over to that cubicle. The phone's going to ring. So I go over there, I pick it up and it's my caseworker. And she's like, hey, and I was like, can you tell me what the fuck is going on? Cause I am at my wit's end right now. And she said, I just got off the phone with your broker. We hashed it out. Everything's fine. I sent her everything she needs. She sent back everything I need. It's all taken care of. I said, awesome. She goes, so what you need to do now is fill out that stack of paperwork they just gave you, because what we're going to do is we're going to look at all the information you put on there and we're going to look at all the information she sends over. And on top of the apartment, we're going to see what other benefits you qualify for. I was like, fine, whatever. So I fill it out and I turn the paperwork in and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And this lady comes out and she goes, Jeremy? I was like, yeah. She goes, come with me. And she sits down. She goes, sit in that chair. And I'm like, ooh, I felt myself getting rage. I felt like the Hulk. I felt the green coming. And I was feeling the rage. I sat down and she's like, did you do this? And I said, I don't know what that is. And she goes, what do you mean you don't know what it is? And I had had enough. And I said, listen, I've never been homeless before, so I don't know what the fuck you're asking. I said, I fill out whatever you want me to fill out. I go wherever you want me to go. I'm just a man who was knocked down by the world, and I'm just trying to get back up. And if that's too much work for you all, you can just throw my paperwork in the garbage. I'll go outside and sleep on a bench for the rest of my life. And then it was silent for like 10 seconds. And she goes,
I like how that's your only option.
I know,
Like,
right? One
it
or the
wasn't
other.
like it wasn't like I'll go home and live with my mom or I'll move in with a sibling. It's like I'm gonna go sleep on that bench for the rest of my life, so that you
would not
see
teach
me
them.
every
Yeah.
day.
If I move back with my mom, they're going to forget about me. If I sleep on the bench outside out of their office, they will see me every day. and I will beg them for $1 every day. So she kind of paused and she goes, you know what? You're absolutely right. Let me walk you through each step of the process. So we went through and she explained everything. And like 2 minutes into it, I was like, I just want to apologize. I said, it's been rough. And I like to equate it to my, what was that Will Smith movie? He was The Happiness of Will Smith, whatever the fuck that movie was called.
Happiness.
The Pursuit of Happiness. Yes.
Pursuit of Happiness.
So that was my moment, because there's a scene in there where he breaks down and he just tells you, like, this is what's going on. And they're like, you know what? And then everything turns around for him. That was my moment. And she was like, let me walk you through this. And I had that monologue. I was like, God, if somebody was recording this, I'd win a damn Oscar for this, because I was like, I'm trying so hard. It was, yes. Anyway, everything is good. The paperwork is processing. I'm getting the lease this week, and I should be moving in September 1st. So that's good. Happy ending.
Yeah.
Thank you. See, there we go. Okay.
Hey, and I might get a check. So
yes. On. So they did say that whoever is housing me. Oh, all right. Yeah. yeah. So they did say that whoever is housing me may get financial compensation, depending on just how poor I am. She goes, if you're below a certain poverty level, they'll reimburse him. If you're over a certain level, they're like, you can kick him some dollars if you want, but you've got money in the bank. So we'll see what they say. This week I should get my lease and find out what level of poverty I am. So that was nice. That was fun.
Yeah, that's good. It's nice to. I mean, it's definitely nice to have this era of your life like wrapped up. You know, like you're not every day. You're not having to jump through hoops to make something happen. It's in motion, and you've done everything that you need to do. So that's good.
And I don't know if everybody thinks this way. Maybe it's just my brain the way it works. But everything that happens, I compartmentalize into a chapter, and I was like, God, this is going to be such a good chapter in my book, because I'm going to write my memoir. And I was like, this is going to be the one everybody's like, holy shit, that's a good chapter there. A lot happened. So that I'm like, when we finalized, I was like, this is going to be a good ending to the chapter.
But you got to make it a comedy. It's got to be a comedy.
Of course. I don't like sad. Everything must be funny. So I met with my union rep this past week also, because my job be trying to mess with my pay. So I was like, I'm going to talk to my union rep. So I'm walking to my union rep, and where the office for my union is, I'm walking by, and there's this building, and on the side of it, it says Gimbels. So for those who aren't familiar, who aren't, old enough to remember Gimbels, it was a department store that kind of rivaled Macy's back in the day. And so I was walking by, and there's this Gimbels sign up there, and I text my mom, because I remember her saying my grandmother, back when she lived in New York in the 40s and 50s, because she was born in New York, she worked at Gimbels. So I took a picture of it and I sent it to her, and I said, hey, I think this is where Grandma used to work, at Gimbels. And my mom wrote back, yeah, she worked at Gimbels in New York City and Midtown, and it was like in the 50s or something. And she worked sales at Gimbels. So I was like, that's awesome. So I went to my union rep, and I get there, and we're talking about my pay issues, and the internet is down. So we're sitting around. He goes, I can't really do anything till the internet comes back. He goes, but we'll hang out and wait to see if it happens. So we just sat around and BS for about an hour. And I mentioned to him that my grandmother worked at Gimbels. And he was like, yeah, that building outside, that's actually like administration offices. Gimbels was a few blocks over. He goes, but that sign up until a few months ago was covered up. There was a building there, and they knocked the building down, and it unveiled the Gimbels sign there. And I was like, yeah, it made me remind me my grandmother used to work there in the 50s. And he said, this would have been the same union your grandmother was a member of 75 years ago. And I was like, wow, I am a legacy union member of the retail stores of New York City, Local 1S.
Do you think
so
like that your family? Cool. Do you think your family has a file, and they're like, we got another one of the Williams clan. He'll be in here every other day.
Well, that would be weird if they called it that, because it's my mom's side of the family, so they're not Williams.
Well, there you go.
But Also, the mob runs all the unions. We know that. So they probably do know that I am linked to that
Do you
side.
think your grandmother knows where Hoffa's buried?
I bet my grandfather does. No, I'm just kidding. don't come for me. I don't know.
And now they know where you live. Just listen to 3 or 4 more episodes. You'll be able to find out exactly where he is.
You'll be able to pinpoint down in a couple episodes where I'm at. So I thought that was really cool. So me and my grandmother, 75 years apart, we're a member of the same union. What else did I do? Oh, I have notes down here of one more thing, but that's what you and I did together. So I don't know if you want to talk about your week, and then we'll talk about what we did together.
All right. Is that the Broadway?
It was Broadway at Bryant Park. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just point out, I like to do the house update. I like to do it first because I like for you to talk about how you're homeless, and then I can come on and talk about how I'm all bougie and renovating a house.
Not only do you come on and do that after I talk about how I'm homeless, but you're renovating your second home. You're like, we're in our New York apartment, but we're renovating our summer home down south in Florida.
Oh, no, this is my second home. Here, I expect Mamdani to send me a tax bill.
That's why you got to have me here. Having me here makes it an official.
Before
New
anybody
York
starts
residence.
getting crazy, I don't pay to live. I don't pay to live in my house in Orlando. It's just the way life is. So it's not like I'm.
Yeah, you don't have to go into the details of it, but yeah, it's not like he's.
I just don't want
a millionaire with 2 homes. Yeah.
I don't really think I'm wealthy because I'm certainly not. But with the sale of the house, we're renovating the house in case we end up living there long term. We wanted to have the space and all that stuff. But anyway, it's all wrapping up. It's coming to an end soon. I'm guessing based on the things. But it's interesting because we don't have this. It's not a high level of communication. So I don't hear anything for a while. So then I'll say something like, "Hey, I bought this thing. Do you think this will look good there?" And then I'll hear like, "Oh, we failed the electric inspection." And I'm like, "Oh, why?" But it's always just dumb things. But anyway,
that's like coming home and being like, "Oh, I polished our wedding rings. Oh, I cheated on you, by the way."
Yeah, but it's just interesting because like there's like a wall. I don't know if I told you this yet, but there's like a wall that had to go up to we cut the dining room in half so we could put a bathroom in there. And the wall that was built 3 inches from where the ceiling fan used to be. Obviously, that needs to get moved.
Obviously.
And we talked about it getting moved. And it was like, yeah, we're going to move that. No problem. Well, that conversation is gone. And so like, in getting the permit, it was like, here's for the room and the bathroom. It didn't include the things that have to get fixed for the other room. So now like that's all gone. It's like, oh, did you want us to do that? That's going to be extra. I'm like, whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
Give me a quote. It's got to be done, so whatever, just give me a quote. And it's like, and then it was like, oh, well, we're not going to touch that until we're done with everything else because it's not part of the permit. So we don't want it to interfere with anything. So guess why it failed? Guess why the electric permitting failed?
Oh,
because there's a big hole where a ceiling fan should go 3 inches from a wall. They were like, yeah, that's got to get fixed. God. So I was like, well, can you just put a plate over it just to move on, and then we'll get it fixed later.
And then put a ceiling in later, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll move it later. And so we're just trying to get that all done. And I don't even know if it's passed. It's just... I assume that we've passed that inspection now because they're installing the mini split, which they weren't supposed to do until after the inspections were passed. So I feel like we're getting towards the end.
Since you mentioned it on the podcast, I'm hoping they finish it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I talked to him about it, and he said it's ready to be painted. And then Dylan's coming down in a week. Like I'm going to be there for over a week, and Dylan's coming down. And
because you leave in a couple of days.
Yeah, because I leave on 24 hours. And I told him to, I said, can we move the stuff in? And he said, yeah. I actually asked him 2 questions, and he said yes. So it was 2 questions that were contradictory. I said, can we move furniture in yet, or should we wait a couple of weeks? And he said yes. So when somebody does that, I go with the answer I want. And the answer I want is you can move the furniture in. So
yeah,
we're going down and we're going to move the furniture.
both. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, okay, we'll take that. So anyway, he did message me today, and I find this interesting. So I like to play guessing games. So we're gonna play a quick guessing game.
Okay.
He messaged me today to tell me that he's putting the mini split in, and he said, by the way, he's like, well, they're putting the front part in, and he's like, and I'm gonna come in later this week, and I'm gonna do the outside part of it. But just to let you know, my guys are sitting around all week with nothing to do. So if you want them to come in and paint for you, we can make that happen.
I hope he meant I'll throw that in for free for all the headaches.
I said, what's that going to cost? Now, do you have any concept of what painting costs? If you hire somebody to paint, do you have any idea what that costs?
I have never hired a painter. However, I have purchased paint and I have hired people to do things for me. So merging those things together, I'm going to say $65 to $75 an hour.
Okay. I don't know what that translates into getting a job done, but I will tell you this. Because it was a garage and there was a garage door and now there's just wood, like we have to get the whole house painted, the outside of the house. So we got a quote from one place and the guy was like, everything included, $4,500. Okay. And I was like, that sounds like I'm not paying $4,500. So we're like, we're going to do it ourselves. So then, my mom's like, oh, I know a guy. He just did my neighbor's house and it looks great. And I drive there all the time and I saw it and I was like, this does look great. I'm going to use this guy. He gave us a quote for $1,750.
Wow.
Now, this is supplies included. This is 4 different paint colors. The entire outside of the house, $1,750 total. So we're going to go with that. Now, the quote I was given today for the bedroom, the closet, and the bathroom does not include supplies. So based off of the 2 quotes I got for the entirety of the house outside, what do you think for those 2 rooms?
I mean, a competent person would say $500 or $600 tops, but based on your exaggerations of your hands with this story, I'm going to say he wanted $25,000.
$2,500.
Jesus, no. Did you tell him you have a man painting the entire outside of the house for less than that?
No, I find that to be insulting to people in the service industry because my husband's a photographer and he'll quote people and they'll be like, oh, I can get that for $50. And he's like, okay, go get it. Go get your cell phone photo for $50. And so I feel like if I was to say that, he'd be like, well, fine. You'll be painting it again in 2 years. You know what I mean? So I don't really.
Yeah, I mean, off the street, yes. But somebody who has put you through the hell this man has, I feel like it's okay to slap it in his face a few times.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to, I don't know that he's put me through hell. I had a phone conversation with him recently, and all of my, angst about miscommunications, it's all me. It's all my impression. It's not him at all. He called me the other day and he's like, hey buddy, how's it going? If he listened to this podcast, he'd probably be like, fuck you.
He's like, dude, what the fuck is his problem?
Right. That he's gonna be like, now you have to pay me $8 million to paint your fucking bathroom.
I can see that. I'm the same way. In my head, if I'm I talk to somebody, I'm like, that motherfucker, when I see him, we're going to have it out because he was being a total dick and then I was being, and then we see each other and like, hey bud, how's it going? I was like, oh, that was just all in my head. You weren't pissed at me or coming at me.
Right. Now, it's all in my head for things like I'll ask him I'll ask him 2 questions that are contradictory and he'll say yes.
Yeah.
Or he'll send me a message that's like, hey, did you get this really expensive item that I need today that I never asked you for before or gave you any specifics about what to get? And I'm like, no, I didn't do that. That's what started the whole thing today. Did you buy this? Like, nope. No, nothing about it. But he also didn't expect me to, so it was all good. Now he's I got I've always liked this guy. Minus the thing. And I did go back and read the text messages, and I see that I can confuse things. It happens.
Yeah. You've met him in person?
Yeah, he's super nice.
Do you have a picture?
And I got to tell you, and so far he's not a bad looking guy. I wouldn't say he's hot. Yeah. He's like a He's a father. I don't think he's a zaddy, but he's
You
like,
mean like a
he's a
daddy?
guy who has kids and he works construction and a nice guy. And so far the work I can say that the work they
Would
do
you
is
say
really
he
good.
is beekeeping age?
I wouldn't because I don't know what that means.
Oh, I need you to Google that because I need to know if he's beekeeping age.
I don't know if I'm leery about Googling things ever since I asked my TV to show me naked boys singing. I'm already on an FBI file list somewhere. So anyway,
I met a gentleman today at Uggs who was beekeeping age, we'll say. It was nice. Anyway, finish your story.
Well, I guess I can surmise what that means because
Yeah.
I heard you telling that story.
Yes.
I will say the first thing we did after we stopped recording the last podcast is that we went out to eat and we went to the Wahai Diner. And the only reason I would have mentioned
we did do that.
is for
yes.
anyone who listened to the podcast last week might know at the end of it, Jeremy was wasted.
Okay. Yes. And I ate like I was wasted.
And we went out. Well, I wasn't even going to talk about the food choices and all that, but I was just going to say, like, we're sitting there and he was drunk and loud and like cussing like a sailor. And
was I?
And just like we're having a conversation. We're just having a conversation. And you're like, "I'll eat the fuck out of these fucking fries. Look at this shit, man. Yeah." And like loud as hell. And I'm looking around. There's only like 3 other tables of people, and I'm like, I wonder if they're like, oh, and they were talking about somebody that made you mad, and you're like, and this fucking whore, and like, oh, it's killing me.
I don't remember any of that.
And then afterwards, is that when we stopped to get desserts, or was that some
Oh my God, no, that is yes.
And then we stopped to get desserts at a restaurant.
That was not my fault. That was their fault. They were
where Duolingo came in handy for me, and I was able to order some. I ordered bread pudding because I knew Duolingo. Oh, Dua Lipa. Is that I combined Dua Lipa and Duolingo.
Okay, I just want to point something out here. I was going to let that go because I never point out when people say words wrong because I think it's rude. But everybody does it to me. Continue.
Oh, yeah. No. I used to be married. I used to, for 3 years of my life, I spent my life with somebody that every time you say anything incorrectly. Actually. And I just it's whatever.
Okay, this was
actually.
I just want to say
it wasn't this time. It was when we went for ramen. After we left for ramen, we went. So it wasn't this drunken time.
Oh, that's right. It was after ramen, but that was this week, wasn't it? I forgot everything.
I think so. I don't know. It's difficult because the days run together. But we went to this place to get desserts, and everything was in Spanish.
Yeah.
Nothing was English. Nor
it
did
wasn't their
anybody
fault.
there.
We're in a Spanish neighborhood, and we're whitey.
We're not saying that. We're just saying like we didn't know, but I did know because I am doing Duolingo, and it and I know what the Spanish word for bread is, and I wanted bread pudding, and I said bread pudding, and they looked at me like I didn't know what I was saying, and I said pudding de pan, and they went, oh, and they knew exactly what it was. But that's the only thing in my lessons. Like I couldn't say any of the other stuff, and Jeremy was having a very hard time getting what he wanted, and then paying for it. Like. It was
okay.
A weird
So
situation.
so there was a cake, a little spiral cake. I said, I want this. She said, okay. So she put it in the little container, and they took it over there. And then I go over, and there's these cookies up there, and I was like, ooh, these look really good. What kind of cookies are these? And she goes, no Inglés. And I said, no Spanish. And we just looked at each other. And then the guy came by, and I said, what kind of cookies are these? And he goes, did you want something? And I said, oh, yeah, I've got this spiral cake. I already told them. He took a piece. He put it in a box. So I thought, oh, you're taking my order. So then they ring Rick's up, and they're like, the cake. And I said, the spiral cake is for me. And she said, okay. So they charged Rick for the 2 cakes, but they put all 3 in the bag. Then he gave me a different piece of the same cake.
I walked out of the store.
Yeah, they were
because Jeremy was having a very hard time finding out what kind of cookies they were, and I kept hearing him say, "You put my cake in their bag. You put," and like kept, and they couldn't.
They weren't
didn't
comprehending.
understand it wasn't coming into play, and so
Rick was getting flabbergasted.
I was uncomfortable, so
he left. So they put that cake and the cookies in the bag without ever telling me what kind of cookies they were. So I was like, whatever. So they ring them up, and we get outside, and Rick and Lil are standing there, and I'm like, by the way, they gave you a piece of cake that they didn't charge you for, because nobody understood that I was saying they already gave us the cake. You don't have to put another one in the bag.
Now, I was confused because I thought I paid for all 3 pieces of cake because it was over $20.
Yes. So we
each
realized
thing was like $12, and they were little slices. Not
well,
whole
each
cake.
piece of cake was $9, and then the cookies were $6 because mine was $15. And I was like, for both? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then she handed me the bag, and I said, before I walk out, can you tell me what kind of cookies they are? And she said, have a good day. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
And I went out.
I look forward to going back there.
They were delicious. I want to say.
The bread pudding was incredible.
The food was delicious.
I want to go back there when I'm like at lesson 6 instead of like halfway through lesson 1 so that I can communicate better.
Yeah. So I ate one of the cookies, and I was like, it's good. But I can't tell. It's almost like it's not super sweet. So I'm thinking it's like a vegetable bread. At first I was like, I think it's a zucchini bread cake. And then by the 4th cookie, because there's 4 cookies in the little thing. By the 4th cookie, I was like, this is carrot cake. This is fucking carrot cake in a cookie form without the cream on top. So if you love carrot cookies, that is a great place to go. So the cookies were delicious. And I forget how we got on this topic, but yes, it was.
Because we were talking about, I thought we had gone there after our.
Oh, that's right.
Thing.
I didn't realize how drunk I was when I finished the last podcast.
Yeah. So it was a very boring week for me. So I didn't do much else. I mean, we did a thing on Thursday that we'll talk about in a second.
We did, yeah.
Then we went to a movie on Friday that we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
Saturday we did laundry together.
Oh, that's right, we did. Yes.
We had a very together sort of time. So on Sunday, Dylan and I both had a day off, and we were
I
like,
worked on
let's
Sunday,
do something
so
fun.
yeah, I didn't do what you guys did.
So this is what Dylan and I did, and our big day off in the big city. We went to the Bronx Target, and then we came back and took a nap, and then we woke up and we went to Bath and Body Works to get soaps and candles, and we went to the Gap so I could get this lovely shirt.
Beautiful.
And then you came home from work, and we all went to the Harlem Public House and had dinner. Now this is like the gay restaurant, and we do like this place. It's like a bar that serves food, and the seats are not comfortable. It's really darkly lit, but there's like the most adorable like they have the greatest personality, like the gay staff there, and they're very
it's very
fun.
Disney-esque there. It's like a restaurant you would find near the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. It's like it's set up like an old pirate tavern. And it's adorable. It's very cute.
It's adorable. Weird thing happened though towards the end of our time there. A very weird thing happened towards the end of our time there. We weren't sure that we were hearing him correctly, but the guy comes over. I thought he said he dropped a tab, but they couldn't find a tab, and he had a flashlight, and he's like looking under by our feet and around the corner and all this stuff.
I heard I dropped a cap. And I was like, oh, maybe the cap from a bottle or something. So we've got our flashlights on and we're looking around.
Yeah. No, we didn't find it because we didn't know what we were looking for.
Yeah.
They lost their cat.
A cat.
Their kitty cat.
And then after we found out it was a cat, Dylan goes, I thought I felt something run across my feet. I'm like, what?
Jeremy's like, you weren't gonna tell us that an animal crushed your feet?
What if it's a fucking rat? You're having me eat chicken wings at a rat-filled pirate restaurant? What are you
And
doing?
what if it was a rat? You're just like, okay, well, I live in New York now. This is my life.
I was so terrified. Anyway, it was a cat. And as we left the restaurant,
I was sitting next to him.
The cat was there. So they found the cat. Cute cat.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I do want to say about that restaurant, our waiter was this like a cross between a gay pirate and Benson Boone. Is that his name? That singer? Yeah. I was totally into it. I was digging it. Like I would totally
it's a
let
nice
that
it's a
pirate
good place.
pillage my booty, if you know what I mean.
I do like I like a gay restaurant, It's like there's a
Thank you. Somebody heard it. All right. I thought we were just gonna move past it, but thank you. It's adorable. Yeah, it's a really cute place. It is. I like it.
I do like a gay restaurant. That's why I like Outpost in Orlando. I like, but there's a new place opening called Sapphic. Is that what it's called? Sapphic in Orlando.
Nope.
No,
it's called Sapphire. Yeah,
but I could make it Sapphic because it's a lesbian bar and restaurant that's opening. So I don't know if it's for my people, but I do love a nice gay restaurant, and I would like to go. But I will get a letter from all the lesbians in my life giving me permission to go before I go, because I did go to a restaurant. Like Dylan and I the other day were passing by a restaurant and we looked it up, and it said it was woman owned and it was black owned. So it was a black woman who owned this restaurant, and we were like, well, let's support black women restaurant business. And we walked in, and as Jeremy told me, he's like, not everything is for us, and maybe we don't have to go into everything. And I get that, and we probably shouldn't have gone. But they were great wings.
Yeah. I will say, and this is something I have become conscious of since moving to New York. In Orlando, yes, it's super, like, everybody is about supporting. It's like, hey, I hear there is a non-binary queer individual who opened a restaurant. Let's all go and support that. In New York, it's a lot like, hey, a non-binary queer person opened a restaurant. It's for non-binary queers. So if you're not non-binary and queer, don't go fuck with it. Now you can order food and go pick it up, but it's like their spaces are their spaces, and they're kind of weird about some of them in New York. So I try to.
You could support without going, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's just what the point is. Like,
Ordering
we can
takeout
say
and stuff like
we're
that.
very, or just to say, it's awesome that you have this space. I recognize that it's your space, not mine, and I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
We learned that lesson. I mean, not in a bad way. It's just, it's not that like they did something to us. Like, we learned that lesson.
We went in 20 minutes later. We waddled out. We learned our lesson.
Only one other thing I want to mention, because it's something we're going to do later on. I don't think we've quite decided when, but I saw this video. There is a mini series out there called Tiptoe. And it's a British show. It's available in streaming in the UK now. It's on HBO. Anywhere in Europe, really. I think it's British. It happens near. It's Great Britain. What did you say? And it's got. I didn't write this dude's name down because we're going to talk about it some other time. But Alan Cummings stars in it. But there's a scene between Alan Cummings and somebody who I thought was Eddie Izzard, but it's not. It's, I want to say Matthew Rhys or Michael Rhys or something like that. But it's this great monologue from this great character that's talking about, what life in 1996 was like, and what Paul Reese. And what life in 1996 was like. And if you talked about what you thought life in 2026 would be like and what it actually is like. And it's just very powerful. And it kind of tells you why it's called Tiptoe. Because it's like, I would have thought in 2026 we were out and proud, and they let us come out, and now they're coming after us again. And I used to walk into a room and make an entrance, and now I tiptoe in. And it's so powerful and great that I was like, we got to watch this. Now, it's not available in the US until October. So we've debated whether we would watch it in whatever sneaky way we can get access to it and cover it now. And then we thought that's probably a bad idea because we won't be able to talk a lot about it because nobody will have seen it. So we're probably going to wait. But I did go and watch the first episode, and holy shit, it's good. It's, when it's available, watch it. It's very surprising. The first 10 seconds is shocking. And then it goes back 10 days. It reminds me of the show Department Q. Did you ever see that?
No.
It's like the first 30 seconds, something really crazy happens. And then the whole show is kind of either how it led to that or the aftermath of that. And it's really kind of cool. Anyway, I can't wait to watch the rest of this. I may not wait. We'll see. But that's what I did.
Yeah, it releases
Aside
October
from-
October 2nd in the States on Stars.
Aside from, we can talk real quick. We Thursday we went to go see. I think it's the last time it was performing, and it's the only time that we got to go anyway. But it's Broadway in Bryant Park. So I've been going to Broadway by the Bay, Broadway by the Boardwalk, and that's great. But so it's a little different because they'll bring on one Broadway star. By the way, there's a photo that popped up of it. This was like an hour before the show, so it really fills out. People show up to it.
Yeah.
I have this thing, right? I don't know what it is. I think things are always an hour earlier than they are. I thought that this started at 12, and it started at 12:30. I realize that's only 30 minutes, and I now know my left from my right, so I just want to make sure that I can tell time. So we got there pretty early, but this is different because this is like they have a bunch of shows. They'll have like 4 shows. The cast will come and they'll do a big number. And so we got there really early, and we weren't really prepared. Like I'm usually prepared for the other thing. I don't know what I expected. I did expect that there'd be a lot more chairs and tables, I guess. But so we just had to sit in the grass up front and in the grass, and there was no clouds, and it was hot, and the sun was beating down on us, and we were
Beautiful
an
sunny day.
hour early, and so early that they were doing sound check. So, which was great because really what happened was we listened to 3 of the shows through the sound check, and then the 4th show opened. And so when that happened, we left.
Yeah.
Because I was tired of being in the sun. But I will say that the shows that we did see, when we got there, the first show that did their sound check, I think, was The Great Gatsby. And
that's okay. I wrote the shows down. Here's what I wrote down: Heathers, Book of Mormon, Heated Rivalry, a 4th musical. I could not remember what the 4th one we saw was.
it started with The Great
Gatsby.
Gatsby, and it was the all new cast from when I saw it, right? So Corbin Bleu wasn't in it anymore. Eva and her husband, they weren't in it anymore. So
Yeah.
all new cast. And it's a fine show. They did a fine number. There's a very attractive ensemble member that was in the cast, who probably should go do Heated Rivalry. Maybe we could see it. So they did their number, and then the Heathers number happened, and that was good. I really enjoyed the Heathers number.
Yeah. I like the movies, and I really like the movie, and I like the musical. I've seen the musical when it was in Orlando, and there was a popular TikToker who I did a story on it. It was one of my first A&E pieces I did when I moved back. And it was a guy who was popular on Vine and then moved over to TikTok and Instagram. And he was in it, and I interviewed him, the girl who plays the Winona Ryder character, and the director. And we went and saw the show. Me, Joey, and his wife at the time went and saw it, and it was a really good show. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was good. And then Heated Rivalry came out, and we were excited to see it because
we were.
It's
we
hard to
the
get.
Show.
It's hard to get tickets. This is Heated Rivalry,
Sold
a
out.
musical parody. It's always sold out. It's hard to get
Yes.
tickets. So we were like, oh, it's our chance to see it. And then we saw it, and now we don't need to get tickets.
Okay, so they did 2 songs from it. Let me tell you, I wrote really brief synopsis about the song. So the first song comes out, and the first song is about Shane and his hockey play.
And we have a picture of him, I think,
Yeah.
if Caitlin wants to throw that
So
up
Shane, super hot. Both
Good-looking
guys
guy.
are hot, but
Yeah.
Shane comes out. He's super hot. They're in their Heated Rivalry t-shirts. And then Ilya comes out, the guy who plays Ilya, His song
We don't have a picture.
entirely is about his ass. It's like the first guy's song all about his hockey playing skills, and the second guy, it's about how thick his ass is. And I'm like, this is like how it is in straight world. It's like when a couple is coming, they're walking the red carpet and they ask the man, "Oh, how was, you were in this powerful movie and blah, 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 blah." And then they look to the woman like, "Nice dress. Who are you wearing?" And it's like, come on. Why can't you do equal for both? Why is one, you're a talented hockey player, and the other one is, damn, look at that ass?
I think you might have missed the purpose of the first one. The first one wasn't you're a great hockey player. It was all about your stick. It was
I don't know what
it
you
was
mean.
all
His hockey stick.
Yeah.
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 That's his talent.
His dick.
Yeah. You
It
know what
was
the
all
weird
about
part
his
is?
dick.
I didn't
And the
connect
other was
that
all about his ass.
because he's not the top. And the one about his ass, he's not the bottom. What are we doing here?
It's a parody.
Did you watch the show?
But I will say this about the songs. See, this is why Titanic worked. There were some really ridiculous jokes in Titanic, and they were peppered throughout. The entire song, everything, every line was an ass joke. Every line was a dick joke. And it was like, come on. And even if they said come on in it, they would have said come
on.
Like
Yeah.
it was so painful. Because it just never ended.
Painful like a dick. What the hell?
Like a hockey stick on your bum.
I
Am I
have
right?
it plugged in. How did you? My light just went out. As I was about to make a dick and ass joke, my light went out. And like,
Your
no,
light said, I can't.
No,
It's like I heard
can't,
the song.
I can't be a part
I
of
can't
this.
hear another one.
I'm out.
No.
Anyway,
I think your mom has a remote. And she's like, nope,
Ma,
let's end this.
come on, Ma.
You know what's
I
interesting
like
about
this
that?
joke.
Before we started recording, I was like, your light's really bright. And I was like, and when it goes
Yes.
out, it's going to be a very big contrast.
Yeah,
That's
it
what I thought
was.
at the beginning. Okay, so that was. Oh, and so then when the actual show started, really
Yes.
weird. I didn't realize that this existed in the world, but we listened to a Taiwanese Afro band.
Yes.
and
Playing jazz. by
Playing
the way.
jazz.
And it's because they sponsored
Taiwanese
this along
Afro
with
jazz.
iHeartRadio.
Yeah. And it went on for 10 minutes. And when it was over, I looked at Jeremy
It
and I
was
said,
so
are
long.
they still warming up? I couldn't tell if they were
It went
tuning
on
their
for
instruments
so
or playing.
long.
And it turns out that's what it sounds like. That's what Taiwanese Afro jazz sounds like. It sounds like they're tuning their instruments, trying to play
It just
a song.
sounded like elevator music to me.
That's what did it. Once, like halfway through that, I said, when this first number's done, we're leaving. You're like, I can't.
Yes.
This killed me.
Now,
It killed me.
the first number, because this was the only number we missed for warm up for the rehearsals. They come out, and the first show is Book of Mormon. Now, I don't know if this is my favorite Broadway musical, but it is definitely top 3. I absolutely love Book of Mormon.
Yeah,
I love
it's
South
really
Park,
good.
so
I'm impressed with the musicality of the team behind South Park and the Book of Mormon.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Book of Mormon, the music, the lyrics and the music are written by the 2 guys who created South Park and the guy who created Frozen's music. The guy who wrote Frozen and Avenue Q is the same guy, and the South Park guys all got together and made Book of Mormon. And I love it. So when they came out, I was like fangirl. I was like, oh my God, I fucking love this.
It makes sense because Let It Go basically is Hasadiga Ibawai.
Yeah.
I'm not going to translate that because
No,
my
please
mother
don't.
might be listening.
And my mother is listening, and she likes you a lot. You're like golden child to her because you saved her son from the gutters of New York. Don't tarnish that.
I didn't write the song.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that. We did one other thing that we didn't talk about last week, but it's crazy. So I just want to hit on it. By the way, the movie we have to talk about, we don't have much to say about it, so we're gonna.
Nah.
The segment's going on. So a couple of weeks ago, we covered the TV show Proud,
Yes.
which was on HBO, and it's about it's a Polish movie or TV series about a guy whose sister dies, and he's going through the process of adopting his niece. And so we watched the first 3 episodes and we covered on the podcast, and we're like, this is really good.
Yeah.
And at the end of the 3rd episode, like there's a knock on the door, if you remember. Well, the woman, the social worker comes over and she says, no gay's getting a kid, and she leaves. She gets hit by a bus and killed. And at the end of the episode, there's a knock on his door. He opens the door and it's a new social worker. And they're like, we're here for the baby. And he slams the door shut and panics. And you're like, oh my God, he's going to run. So the next episode.
Yeah. So we finished the series.
We finished the whole series. But in the next episode, it's crazy. He takes the baby. He climbs down the balconies from the 3rd floor, runs off the baby. His neighbor, who's like the alcoholic crazy woman, is like, I'll help you. And she's driving him out of town. And they stop for gas, and he's all over the news that this deviant gay guy has stolen this baby and is, gonna groom it to be this terrible human being, and you've got to save this child. And it's all over, and it stops to get gas, and his face is up there, and you're like, oh my God.
There's 2 people working in the gas station. One's like, we should call the cops, and the other one's like, no, he's just trying to save his niece and let him live. And it's like so dramatic.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, so what, I'm gay, whatever. Like, and everybody's like trying to, like, everyone's freaking out, all of his friends, like, we gotta find him and help him. And and they're running from the cops. They get recognized, and so they're running, and they go down the street, and they see a roadblock, and they're like, and the lady goes, see the road, kid. She's like, there's nothing else we can do. I'm gonna go talk to them. So she gets out of the car and she walks up, and they're all like guns drawn and like, bring the gay out here. And she's like,
hey, we've got some rules. He's
gonna come out here.
Yeah, he's gonna
hand the baby to the social worker.
Hand the baby.
You will not put him in cuffs until the baby's gone.
Away.
So
no, the baby doesn't want to see it.
So he comes out. He's got the baby. She walks back. She's like, it's time. He's holding the baby. He walks down the street, and the cop goes.
They're all gentle. They're like, okay, we're gonna do this the way you asked.
Cop's like, give me the baby. Yeah. And he's like, that's not how this is supposed to go. And he's like, give me the baby.
And he grabs the baby.
Wrestling.
And they're fighting.
And it yanks like this. The baby
falls
out of his hands onto the asphalt.
Blood
coming everywhere.
We are like, oh shit!
What is happening? We're dying, right? We're screaming, like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden you hear like this alarm, and the guy wakes up.
It was a fucking dream. They did the fucking dream thing. I was so pissed. I was so pissed.
No point.
I was like at that point, I didn't even want to finish the show. I was so angry.
They could have just not had that episode, because then the story carries on for 2 more episodes about will he get the baby? Won't he get the baby? Will he be with this guy? Won't he be with this guy?
The only reference to the entire dramatic whole thing we just watched was he wakes up and he goes, huh, crazy dream. And then they move on. It's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah. Now, if that doesn't make you crazy, the whole point of the show is he's trying to adopt this kid. Will he, won't he? Will Poland give this baby to a gay man?
Yes.
And his grandmother comes in from the father's side. Remember, the father doesn't want the baby. So the grandmother comes in and is trying to say, I'm taking the baby. And so there's a big court hearing. The father's like, don't give it to this woman. She's terrible. She's an alcoholic.
She's crazy.
Give it to the gay guy.
Psycho.
The gay guy wants the baby. Give it to the gay guy.
This lady raised me, and I'm fucked up. I don't even want my kids.
That dinner scene.
Don't give it to her.
So there's this whole thing. And so they have the trial. They're doing it. They get out. There's a deliberation. The lawyer comes up to him and says, are you ready? Because they have a verdict. Let's go inside. They go inside. They shut the door, and the credits roll.
Show's over. That's it. We're done.
Look,
I hope you enjoyed the entire hour we wasted on your fucking dream.
So we gave you the whole thing so you don't have to go and watch it. If there's a
Don't
second
even-
season, I'll watch the first episode. If he gets the baby, I'll let you know, and then we can all be happy. But don't waste your time. I like the show. I like the guy that's in it. I like all the people. I don't like that cliffhanger. I don't like the dream.
No, I liked it up until the dream, and I was willing to give it a chance. And then at the way it ended, I was like, you know what? You know what? Sorry, Poland. You're on your own. I'm done. I'm done with Poland.
Yeah. So,
But we watched
decided-
something else.
It's so funny because we're like, we had all this plans to watch. We were gonna watch Tiptoe for this
Yeah.
week.
Mhm.
But then we found out that there were a bunch of famous people in another new lesbian movie. So we were like,
Yeah.
hey, we had so much success with the last one. Let's do it.
Mhm.
Let's do it again.
So I just want to lay the groundwork for this so that when we tell you what it actually is, you too will be as annoyed and confused as we are. So this movie is written and directed by Dylan Meyer, who is a gay person. He's a homosexual, or she's a homosexual. Out.
They are out.
Fluently out. Like they have
speak-
it on. They speak gay.
They speak the queer fluently.
Yeah.
They learned it from Duolingus.
Yeah. Ew, gross. The stars of this movie, there's two leads, Kristen Stewart and Aaliyah Shawkat.
Yes.
Lesbians. Both openly
Out.
proud lesbians. Out. Proud lesbians.
Hard carrying members. U-Haul
Not
key
only
holding.
are the two stars of this lesbians, and not only is the writer-director an openly queer person, this movie is not only not
Oh, wait.
gay.
There's
but
another
they-
gay person in it.
Oh yes.
Kate
Kate
McKinnon.
McKinnon has a prominent role in this. A super
Also-
iconic lesbian.
Also in it, Kate Blanchett, who plays lesbians.
Kate Blanchett's not in it.
No, but yes, she is.
Wait a minute. Did I sleep through that part? Is she in this?
I'm
okay,
gonna tell you
I
this.
slept
If
through
you
part of this
Goog-
movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna tell you this. Here's what I went through. I always Google like who was in the cast, and then I find out what they
Yeah.
were in. I go, and it said Kate Blanchett, and it
I'm
said
looking
that
at
she
the
was
list here.
something
It does.
about
She's
the
a deep sea expert.
and I don't remember her in the movie at all.
Did we sleep through that part?
I don't know that
Did
I
you
slept
sleep
through
during
it.
the movie? I slept through part of it.
I don't
Okay,
know. I blocked
don't
a lot of
like
it
to-
out.
Listen, I think everybody, particularly celebrities, should have their own private lives. I don't think you should pry. If you don't want to be flag waving, I'm at a pride parade queer, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. But Kate Blanchett plays lesbian so well and so often, she's got to be gay, right? She just got to be.
I mean, it's a scale, right?
It is. It's a sliding scale, and she's gay. But I love her. I
We have no
love
proof
Kate
of that.
Blanchett,
We have no
but
proof
we
of
have
that.
no proof.
We have no.
But if you're gay,
and
be gay.
if her journey is her own, all disclaimers. Now you
Yeah.
may go on.
Also, Gina Davis is in this, and I bet there's
For like
a lot
2
of women.
seconds.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of women who wish she was gay because she's still
Yeah,
hot.
I do.
I've
like me some
always
Gina
loved
Davis.
Gina Davis, and even now she's got to be like what, in her 60s, 70s? I don't know how old she is.
I love Gina Davis.
She's 70, and
She was so badass in that movie. The Last Kiss Goodbye.
Oh my god, The Last Kiss Goodnight.
Good
I
night. Yeah.
love that movie. I was working at a movie theater
Actually,
when that happened, and it don't you dare. I think that is the fact that that movie was a bomb and didn't like win her an Oscar and shit.
oh, I thought it was great.
so
Samuel
good.
L. Jackson, great.
so good.
Yeah. But A League of
This
Their
movie,
Own,
not
by
so
far
much.
my favorite thing she's ever done. She was actually did she play the vice president or the president? She was in a TV series, Gina Davis. and
Yes,
she played
recently,
the president.
like within the last.
I
10
think
years.
is that the one and Josh Gad played her son?
Yes,
I know he
That
played the
was,
president's kid in some show.
oh my god,
Animal
Commander in
something.
Chief.
Oh, Commander in Chief. Okay.
Yeah, she plays the president and Commanders in Chief.
Or she's the vice president who was going to become president, and like Kiefer Sutherland was in it. I get there's like three
No,
around the
Kiefer
same
Sutherland
time.
was in
I get not Kiefer,
Designated Survivor.
Donald Sutherland, the father.
Yes, he's the Speaker of the House. She plays the
Yes,
president.
gotcha.
He's the Speaker of the House.
And he doesn't want her to be president. Yeah.
Zach's from Saved by the Bell. He's in it. He plays the media consultant. I'm looking at the cast list right now.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
look that
see
up and
Josh
watch
Gad.
it. It only lasted a couple episodes, right? Like one season, maybe if a whole season. I don't know.
It looks
What was it
like
called?
one season.
Oh, Commander-in-Chief.
18 episodes. Commander-in-Chief. 18 episodes. That's it.
There was another one that came out around the same time that was called like Animal something, and it was about politics.
And
the
Josh
president's
Gad plays
family.
the son.
Yes. So Josh Gad's not in Commander-in-Chief. Oh, you know who plays her son in that? He was that guy from that Angie Dickinson show where she's trying to find hot models. He was in that, and he was also in Timeless, the TV show Timeless. Anyway, did you look up Josh Gad, president, son?
Matt Lanter. Oh. I just looked up her son from the show.
Yeah.
He's hot.
Yeah.
He's hot. 1600 Penn is the show that he played.
Who was his father? Who was the president? None of this has anything to do with the movie we're supposed to.
No, but the movie was just kind of meh. So we're gonna move. Bill Pullman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. I like both of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch both of these TV shows.
Both of them will be in the Spaceball sequel.
Ah, how about that?
How full circle we've come. How full circle.
Okay, so The Wrong Girls. What do you think? That's the movie. Did we ever say the name of it? That's the movie.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I feel like you and I are the wrong girls right now. Like we are stoned.
Here's the
chug a bunch of drugs.
of the movie.
Okay.
Two ableist young women inadvertently gain telepathic abilities after ingesting an experimental drug, pitting them against dangerous rivals, pursuing the same powerful substance. This is the IMDb description. The preview was I was sold. Dylan, I saw the preview. It said, this is a movie we need to see. So as soon as we were like, oh, it's out in New York, let's go. So Jeremy and I went to go see it to cover it for the podcast. Mm-hmm. What do you think Rotten Tomatoes is?
I mean, I just want to, before I say this, because I feel like a terrible gay attacking this movie. So I just want to say, I was very tired when I saw this movie. And if I was high, I probably would have enjoyed it more. But I'm going to say like a 50 critics. And I'm going to say a 65 for audiences.
It's a 59 for critics. That's at a 63 rating. So you got a 59 and a 65 for audiences, which is 50 or more. But I wrote down two descriptions of it because you have to know, like, I'm not a stoner, right? So I don't know that these movies are made for me. But this says, even by the lowest standard of stoner comedies, this is an atrociously lazy and unfunny film. One whose only redemption may be driving people to check out a much better one this year called Pizza Movie. So, like, they're saying, like, people will go and see this and say, "Oh, this sucks. Let's go see Pizza Movie instead."
Pizza Movie. Pizza Movie. Ooh, I just had like a weird. I felt like somebody who has Alzheimer's and my memories just came back. I was like, are you my daughter? Pizza Movie is like on Netflix or something. And it's got the, I forget his name
it's got the kid from Stranger Things. Yeah. Matt. No.
The one who was on Broadway in Sweeney Todd. I watched the trailer. This movie looks so fucking hilarious. It doesn't look anything gay about it, but it looks hilarious.
Yeah. And then this says The Wrong Girls wants to be up in smoke, but it's more still smoking, laboring through dull encounters with a noticeable lack of screenwriting. And I wrote this one down because I said I can sum up the writing in one line. So this is towards the end of the movie, and the bad guys are catching up to the wrong girls, and they're shooting at them. And the wrong girls yell back at them, like, Why are you doing this? Did your mom give you a bad haircut when you were a kid?
Ha 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 ha.
There needs to be a wah, wah sound effect. Like, but I wish I had remembered the horrible line before it, because that's why I noticed that line, because the one before it was so bad. You need to crack yourself up. That's hilarious.
This is what's left in the bottle of wine. And I bet if I watched that movie now, I'd find it so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, watch out, Washington Heights. We're going out for dinner after this.
I am so hungry.
Break your earplugs. Yeah, so that was that. What else did I want to say about it? There's a weird thing, like, there's a girl, she's a stoner, right? And she wants to be a chef, so she just gets high and makes these weird things. Did you notice that she put in a blender a bunch of strawberries and toothpaste and then drank it?
Yeah, because that's terrible. Yeah, because it's
I didn't
funny.
realize Seth Rogen was in it.
Yes, Seth Rogen and Camille Najani were the voices of the cats. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Missed opportunity. There are cats that are telepathically communicating with them because they've all eaten this drug or drank this drug. And what a great hilarious. They should have let them ad-lib. There's no way they let them ad-lib. Seth Rogen is way funnier than that.
There are also two actors in here whom are great actors. But they promote, they're like the third and fourth tier actors on the call sheet on Wikipedia. It's Lakeith Stanfield, who's Oscar nominated.
Great.
And
Get
Tony
Out.
Hale
He was in Get Out.
from Veep, who are both amazing actors who are in this like for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Tony Hale is like one of those guys that when he's 70, you're going to be like, he did 900 movies.
Yeah. Tony Hale, his best performance isn't even in a show he was in. His best performance is when Julia Louis-Dreyfus won an Emmy for Veep, because he plays her like assistant in the show. When she won the Emmy, he goes up there to hold her purse and to feed her who she needs to thank for her award. It is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I love him.
Or did he ad-lib that?
I don't know, because he just follows her up there, and it feels very ad-libbed, but they're such both good comedians that I think even if it was planned, it feels ad-libbed, and it's hilarious. He's also the principal in Love, Simon, and so he's an ally, and I love him.
Yeah,
I love Tony Hale.
It has a great cast. It also has Zach Fox from Abbott Elementary. He was also in something else that we watched recently. But he's great. I don't think I can say anything bad about the performances because it wasn't them. The comments that I was reading, people are crediting its failure. I don't know, it's failure. They're saying they didn't like it because they think the directing was lacking and the screenwriting was not good. And I think they can only do what they got, you know? They can only work with what they got. I will say that there was
recently watched. Oh, the one we watched last week. That weird slasher movie, the abstract act, where the script and the direction was just mind-boggling, stupid to me. But the commitment and the performances of the commitment of the performers and their performances, it's almost worth saying go see that movie just for their performances, because especially Gillian Anderson, I think she's phenomenal.
This movie made me like that movie way more.
Yeah,
way
I didn't
more.
love that movie, but I still think Gillian Anderson deserves an Oscar nomination for that movie. Her performance is amazing.
She's great. Yeah, and I think that that's just a thing where that movie isn't for us. This was more like, I don't think that movie hit the mark it was trying to make. It's not a movie for me, but they didn't hit the mark for who it was for either.
Yeah. It's just very weird.
Oh, Chris Estrada played the neighbor, and I thought his bits were funny because his whole shtick was he rambles and takes up everyone's time. And
I think everybody knows that person who comes over and they just talk and talk and talk, and you're like, would you shut the fuck up? I got things to do, but you don't want to be rude.
reminds me of my favorite teacher ever. I would go to his office and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go talk to him for a minute," and we would talk for 4 hours. Like, it was
Yeah.
just forever. I mean, that was a back and forth. This is more like this guy just doesn't stop talking,
Yeah.
which cracks me up. So anyway, at best, because it's
2.5.
famous people, 2. I'm gonna go 2 at best.
I was gonna go 2.5. Does anybody remember what I gave the sex and drugs and killing at Massima Lake was last week?
Teenage sex and death that can't miasma.
Yeah, that one. What did I give that last week?
I think you gave it 3.5 or 3.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, it's a 3, and this is a 2.5. Although, the more I talk about it, the more I'm thinking, if I watch this again, I think I might like it a little more. Also, some of that has to do with at the Museum of Moving Images in Queens, the writer-director has an exhibit for this movie where she has like stuff from the movies and like the VHS cases and some of the props and stuff. And I kind of want to go see it.
Are you back on the miasma one?
Yeah.
I think we'd like that.
I would like that
better.
movie more if I go see the exhibit.
Yeah, I just think I will not like the ending of it ever.
No, it's weird.
I will like, I will equally like the performances.
Yeah.
So you're talking about this one we just watched. And I was like,
this one,
I was like, yeah, you
that
go
one,
ahead and rewatch that one. I don't think I could ever
I think
like this
both
one.
of them suffer from the same problem, though, that their endings and kind of their what's the word I'm looking for? Their making, there's a particular word that's escaping me right now, but the way that they're made, it almost feels like they're saying, if you don't understand it, then you just don't get it because you're not smart enough. And that irritates me when people make films like that. Like, it's just a really clever ending and you just don't get it. And listen, I want to get it. You're not making a good connection for me to get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I was told some one time, like, oh, maybe you didn't like this because you're not the person, like you're not represented in the
It's
movie.
Not
And
for
I was
you,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't on Titanic, and I love that movie. You know what I mean? Like
Also,
I do have, my brain has the capacity to have empathy and expand. So I don't know.
Also, I don't have confirmation of this, but I think they may have been high when they made this movie. So
I've been around people who developed shows when they were high, and they're hilarious. And I've watched Seth Rogen movies with He Who Shall Not Be Named, and their movies.
He has a TikTok.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he's back into the fold.
That's right. We don't acknowledge him.
And those movies were great.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about how hot he is after this. But
his brother's hotter.
Yeah. So
we need to wrap this up before I say something totally inappropriate.
Before?
Oh no.
Well, you're the one with the closing line. I will say we know we're coming back next week.
And now the cork is I'm just kidding.
We know what we're gonna cover 10 Dance, which is on Netflix, and it's a Japanese movie that we're gonna watch next time. It looks
you
great,
have a TikToker that you watch who recommends things that are queer, films and TV shows that are queer, and he's
a hot guy shirtless in it. I thought, all right, Jeremy's gonna love it.
Listen, if you're a dude and you show me your nipples, I'll watch whatever you tell me to watch. FYI, throwing it out there. Anyway, until next time, the cork is back in the bottle.